Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Deep Waves Transformation. On today's episode, I am deeply honored to welcome a guest whose wisdom has been shaped by decades of inner and outer exploration. Vinaya is a world traveler of over 50 years and a spiritual guide who has spent more than 30 years helping others break free from the limitations of the conditioned mind and step into a life of truth, freedom, and authentic power. His journey has taken him across continents, cultures, and spiritual traditions, but his mission remains clear: to support others in remembering who they really are beneath the programming, pain, and societal expectations. Vinaya teaches that the self most people identify with, the me, shaped by stories, wounds, and unconscious patterns, is not who we truly are. His work is about helping people dissolve that false self and return to presence, stillness, and what he calls being in meditation 24/7. Through his coaching, psychic crystal readings, and vibrant online community, Vinaya offers a grounded yet deeply spiritual approach to transformation. Vinaya, it is a true gift to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy. We tried a few times and now it worked. Yay.
Yes, I'm so happy to make it work. Thank you so much for being a part of the Deep Waves family. I appreciate it very much. So, you've been traveling the world for over 50 years. What led you on this journey and how did it evolve into a path of spiritual teaching?
Wow. Okay, so I grew up in Germany,
Okay.
tried for 21 years really hard to fit in, which didn't work.
Okay.
Nothing really felt right. Like it was, yeah, I couldn't quite understand what was going on. And also, I somewhat realized that if life is just being born, learning, working, kids, working, dying, that didn't make any sense. So somewhat
Right.
deep inside, I had this knowing there must be more. So when I was around 21, 22, I don't quite remember, I suddenly had this intuition to take off to India. Because India then was like hailed, that was in the mid 70s, hailed as the place of spirituality and wisdom. So I
Okay.
went overland, took me a few months, arrived in India, and basically just looked for something I wasn't even sure what I was looking for. I met a few saints and masters, so called. Nothing really vibed real with me. It was all
Right.
like still being in a box of being a Hindu or a saint, a sadhu, or it was still boxes.
Right.
And then, to my fortune, I met somebody who was outside the box. And I go, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And
Please share.
basically then started to be aware of what my box is, this program we get when we come here. We all have, nobody of us is a German or an American. We are all humans, but we get put into a box of being a certain way because of our culture, of our religion, where we are born.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work. We are all unique. And we want to find who we really are and what is really my goal in life. Why am I here? What are my gifts? All this got really suppressed by upbringing. And you have to be like this, and you have to act like this, and you have to blah, blah, blah. All these you have to
Yeah.
because that's what you do. So after I met this master Osho, where the major thing was really seeing and experiencing somebody who actually found something else. Even though no way
Uh-huh.
to put words into it, but it was like, yeah, there is more to life. So then
Yes.
yeah. And then with groups and meditation and awareness exercises, I slowly became really more aware of who am I not. So I'm not a German, I'm
Oh,
not a
okay.
man, I'm
Yeah,
not this, I'm not just something else. And
yeah,
through meditation, I got there. Oh, that's not who I am. I am a unique being in a human body. And
exactly.
that was also a moment where it was like, okay, wow. And going back again 50 years or more than that, 60 years. So anyway, and then I kept on traveling because I really had no goal in life except learning to be myself and celebrating this adventure. So since this India, I'm still traveling around the world. I was living in Ecuador a few years ago for 10 years, then Costa Rica, then Mexico. Now I'm in Peru. Um, no clue where
Wow.
the wind existence is going to flow me, so to speak.
Right.
But going back to my youth, I was always a crystal freak. I loved crystals. Always went out and I
Okay.
learned a lot about the crystals per se as a mineralogist. And
Uh-huh.
in Hawaii, one time, I saw a guy who showed what crystals energetically are doing to our energetic field. He showed that with a pendulum. And it was amazing. And it opened a new dimension for me because suddenly there was this awareness. Well, I know all that because I was always already being more able to see energetics instead of stories.
Yeah.
And then it just came to me, give readings with crystals. It was just like an insight. Oh, that's how you do it. No tarot cards, no nothing. And
Huh.
also knowing it's not about the future, it's about the here and now. And that's where we want to
Yeah.
be. And through the readings, I help people to become more aware of their gifts, of how it would be possible for them to be always here and now and being in meditation where there's absolute stillness. And that's a joy to help people because we live on an amazing planet. We live in paradise.
We
And
truly
for
do.
me, yes, it's amazing. Every day I look outside and I go, wow, what an adventure.
Yeah.
And we all can be in that space of bliss, contentment, presence. And
Yeah. So then how do you personally maintain a state of meditation 24/7? Like what does that actually look and feel like in everyday life?
okay, that's a big question. So how do I maintain it? Mind you, I'm still slightly human. I fall out of it every 5 minutes, but
Sure.
I remember every 5 minutes as well. And specifically putting attention to actually always being in the present, like really being here and now. And that easily is achieved through breathing. So when I catch myself, I'm sitting in Pisa, Peru right now, but somewhat my mind is in Germany, where I'm actually going in a week. And it's already in Germany, but I'm sitting in Pisa. When I become
Yeah.
aware of that, then open my eyes and I'm back here. I'm out of my head. And that goes with everything. And then, as much as I remember, washing dishes, walking, shopping, right now talking, I can observe myself. I can be unidentified, or I am unidentified with this avatar I'm inhabiting right now. And that
Yeah.
basically I am in meditation. The I, the Vinaya, in a certain way doesn't do anything. He's just, or the real being, not the Vinaya, which is an ego. The real being is just observing. It's just watching. And that is in meditation because that presence isn't doing anything, isn't thinking, it's just there. And Funny enough, it is said meditation means absolute stillness, no action. What I
Yeah.
understand is that I still do things, but it's not Vinaya necessarily, it's existence doing things through one. And everybody can get into that space. And yeah, it might be a day or two or five or a year or five. It doesn't matter because as soon as I remember, I can be in the presence and be the observer of what is going on. It is not necessarily a feeling, it's like a beingness. I'm just present.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So then what are some common blocks that you think keep people from experiencing true presence or inner stillness?
The biggest block I come across the last 25 years, but being more aware of what actually is happening is trauma. Because trauma, and we all have that, just through not being forced to be somebody else or actually having physical trauma or emotional trauma, we all have that. And we are never able in that moment, because most of it is happening when we are young, to actually fight or flee. So we freeze and we will stay in this space unless we release that. Like animals, when they have a challenge, the lion is after the gazelle. Once the gazelle
Uh-huh.
became free, the first thing they do, and also dogs and cats, they shake. They
Yeah.
release that energy. We don't. So the biggest hindrance to actually really be in the presence is to relieve trauma, to not get rid of it, but to release it. And then we are more free to actually be available to the present. The other challenge we all have is that thing up here.
Mindset. The mindset. Yeah.
And the mind itself, because there is no way physical or actually to shut that thing up. Because who
Yeah.
is telling the mind to be quiet? It's the mind. So that doesn't work, right?
Yeah. Nope.
And then there is arguments going on and da 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 da. And the
Uh-huh.
same goes with emotions. Fear comes up. I feel in my heart, okay, I need to or want to, or existence shows me to be alone right now, or change my job, or this or that. Fear comes up. Fear of the unknown. That's another one where many of us step
Huge.
back because I don't like my misery, but it's comfortable. I know it. I have no clue what happens when I step outside that. So
Yeah.
that fear is there. That's like the three major things I'm aware of through the readings. Plus,
Uh-huh.
maybe what's also in there is non acceptance of oneself. I am not good enough. Who am I to deserve happiness? All these ideas we got that we have to be da 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 in order to receive, or in order to be happy or abundant or this or that. There's all these thoughts and
Yeah.
feelings
Can you imagine if
which
we didn't have dictatorship in our life? Can you imagine if we didn't have that?
I I know how it is because that's what my life is. I have an amazing life because I always
Yeah.
follow my heart and I never follow my mind. And through like 30 years of working on myself, that kind of like manifested really strongly and it's really amazing. So maybe a little trick for everybody, how to get unidentified with the
Yes.
body, the feelings and emotions, and the mind. And in the beginning, the understanding is pretty logical, and I think it's very easy for everybody to understand. When I see this cup, I see the cup and I know I am not the cup. And the reason why I know it, because I can observe it. And in order to observe it, I have to be outside of the cup. Make sense?
Right.
If I the cup, I wouldn't be able to see it. So I can observe my body, even with closed eyes. I can observe it. Obviously, I am the observer and I'm not the body because otherwise I wouldn't be able to observe it. I can observe my mind. Thoughts are going there, dialogues, movies, whatever is happening.
Uh-huh.
I basically observe that. So I'm not my mind. And the same goes with emotions. I can observe them. So I'm not angry. There is anger, but that's not me. I'm the one who's watching it. So we get a
Right.
distance. And if we can practice that as much as possible, specifically when we are in the mind, like, oops, just, we can't shut it up, but we can observe it. And then it shuts up. Okay, then a thought comes, I'm observing it. I'm not getting involved in it. Like there's a beautiful woman passing by, and the thought is, oh, that's a beautiful woman. Okay, I
Uh-huh.
observe it. It's gone. Next thought comes. Or I go, how I can talk to her. Am I good in that? Da, 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 da. Boom, I'm in the story and I'm not present anymore. But when I step
That was an
back,
awesome example. I love that example.
yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense, right? So
it
practicing
really
that is
does.
very helpful. Yeah. And we get a distance. We are disassociated. We are not identified with the story. I invite everybody to practice that. It's amazing. And then suddenly, like, I had gout for 30 years and my knee was hurting like nobody's business. I could choose to go like, oh, I'm so pain. Oh, oh, I can go,
Yeah.
oh, there's pain. Pain is still there, but somewhat I don't have anything to do with it anymore and I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
Works like a charm.
Perfect. And absolutely works for me. That's for sure. Like if I get really upset about something or anything, I'm just like, okay, I realize that I'm upset right now and just kind of becoming aware and talking through it, it really calms itself down. So, yeah.
Yeah. And not saying I am upset.
Yeah.
There is upsetness in my
Yeah, I've become
awareness.
aware that I'm upset. Yeah, or
It's
any
not me
emotion or feeling for that matter. Yeah, it's not
for
you.
that matter. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not me. Anger is there. The upsetness is there. But when I can step back and, all right, there's anger, there's upsetness, it'll go. And actually, I have nothing to do with it. It's kind of hilarious. I'm just
It
observing the
actually is.
story.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it's kind of silly now that you think about it. You look back and you're like, wait, why did I get all hyped up for what? Like, what was that about?
Right.
Yeah. So then what role does community play in healing and transformation? Tell us about your Facebook group, Your Path to Freedom.
The community helps by connecting with like-minded people, people who are on the search of like, who am I really and what is my life about and
Right.
all of that. And that can be challenging because we have to let go of stories and we have to go into the unknown. I can do this on my own. And if I have a beautiful community where people help each other, so to speak, in the sense of like, hey, try this out. Oh, when I was in that situation, then blah, 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 blah. So we can get more insights in how to navigate this crazy planet Earth.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's support. It's like I have people I can ask. Hey, I've blah 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 is happening. What did you do? And then I can say, well, I never had this, so I can't really tell you. But Petra or Tasha or whoever, I know they had that experience. Check with them. So a community would be really supporting each other. And Osho one time made this amazing analogy. I
Uh-huh.
am a small river on my way to the ocean. The first desert, I'm gone. The first hole, I'm gone. But when few small rivers come together and forming a bigger river, the journey is much more likely to succeed and get to the ocean.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. Thank you. All on the mindset and the perspective that you have in life and the this beautiful planet that we live on. It's just amazing.
It is.
And
Yes.
I have also built that healthy, loving, healing, growing, supportive community as well. And it's so amazing what we do for each other. It's so amazing when you're like away from the chaos and you can actually build your circle of what I call my peeps. It's just amazing what you can build together. So beautiful. And we're not there to knock
Yeah,
each other down. That's the thing is we're always trying to help each other. Always.
it comes from our heart. If we really,
Yeah.
and this is also what might be important is self-acceptance. Because when I can accept myself the way I am with all the goods and bads and ups and downs and lefts and rights and whatever, all the
Yeah.
judgments I get doesn't matter. I am perfect. Then I
Yeah.
can see that in others. And then I don't need to be angry because they're not doing it. It's like, oh, I've been there and I can give a helping hand. And that comes from the heart. And so
Yeah, it
living
does.
from the heart and being in the flow, living from the heart doesn't mean that I have to give my money to everybody who has no money. It means that I honestly connect to people where they're at and see what can be done so that they can step into that space. And coming back to this judgment, I'm not good enough. I think it's very important for everybody to understand. Existence does not, period, exclamation mark, create something imperfect. Everything has a space, everything is needed, or everyone, so to speak, and everything is created because they're needed. So I'm perfect. Maybe not according to my mother. Pretty sure I'm not, but
That's okay.
or to the priest or to the government or whatever. I'm definitely not
Yeah.
perfect, or to the master electrician, but that's not my job anyway. So I am perfect the way I am. And that's again coming into the presence. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to achieve except just being here now. And for that, we want to understand that, yeah, I'm perfect. You don't see it, but existence sees it because it put me there
Yep,
like here
absolutely.
with this. And then I can also really step into my power in my beingness. Ha. And then life
Uh-huh.
starts to be also way more free. And suddenly, including there are no more problems. Everything is perfect right now, including me. I don't know what's
Yes.
going to happen in 10 seconds, right? But I
Correct.
will figure that out when I get there. So there's no need to worry. There's, just, ha, wow,
Yeah.
what an experience.
Isn't this awesome? Hell yeah. It's a beautiful experience we get to live. I love it. So let me ask you
Yes.
a personal question. How has vulnerability played a factor in your healing journey?
What do you mean by vulnerability? Yeah. Okay.
So
What do you
I'm
mean by that?
learning, for me personally, I'm learning that my vulnerability is now become my superpower in the way that as I'm sharing my story, um, it's really opening people up. And so we have this beautiful flow dynamic of vulnerability going between them. the both of us, and it heals the both of us at the same time by doing that. And so the more I shed and my authentic self and like let you know what I've been through in my life, I can relate to you because here's my story. um so I feel like that has now become my superpower. So what do you think? What are your thoughts
It
on that?
is. Yes, it is because it's honesty. I don't know how to do it. Show me. Oh, I might be wrong, but I'm doing it anyway because it feels right. You don't like me? That's all right. There's 8 billion peoples on the
I,
planet. I can't please
I don't care.
everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I don't care anymore. I don't
Exactly.
care.
Right. I don't care if you like me or not. That's your story and that's your happiness or unhappiness if you get annoyed by me. But me being honest and being vulnerable, meaning being able to get a no from people or get a dislike from people, that is a superpower because that's honesty and that's me. I don't like you, which is a judgment. So I say, I don't I don't even say anything, I just leave. But if I have to
Yeah.
say anything, could say, I'm somewhere else right now. This doesn't vibe with me. I wish you all the best. And if you need some company or need something, let me know. But right now, I need to do something else. Makes sense? I don't know because vulnerable,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it is a
absolutely.
superpower. It is honesty. It is, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So you love to be vulnerable too then?
I don't know if I love to be vulnerable, but I can be definitely vulnerable. And I wouldn't actually even call it vulnerable anymore. I would call it present being. And the vulnerability is somewhat also like a judgment because you think maybe men don't cry.
Right.
So if I take that judgment, I like, oh, I'm a man, I don't cry, but I'm sad. Ah, no, I feel like crying, I cry. It's honesty, it's presence. That's what's happening for me. And so I would even just cut that vulnerable out totally and say, I'm superpower.
Uh-huh. So then for
Yeah.
someone out there who's listening, who's feeling really lost or disconnected from themselves, what's the first step that you would recommend?
The first step is the awareness that, okay, I've tried everything, but it's not working. There must be something more. And now I am looking for it. How can I create happiness? What is happiness for me? So the first step is the awareness that I want to change something. And then comes the search. And then you can go to astrologers, or you can go to tarot readings, or you can go to meditation camps and slowly start finding out what really ticks correctly for you. Or you can come to me and get a crystal readings in like half an hour. You know exactly what to do to get on your path, to create a life you actually wanted to create when you came here. And that sounds maybe very woo-woo and spiritual, but we all came here for a reason.
Hey,
And whatever the
that's what my
reason is,
channel's all about. That's my favorite word, and I'm not afraid to use it. I love woo woo. I
love it.
love my woo woo lifestyle.
I'm
I don't
71
care.
and like that
Again, I
was
don't
like
care.
meditation wasn't even a word totally. And yeah, so
Yeah, because
then
you
one
know what's
needs to go.
fascinating is I was watching a documentary and they were showing us the beautiful culture of in China and how
Mhm.
many millions of people, you know how they do like their like kung fu and their beautiful there's thousands of them, right? And they're out there doing beautiful artwork with their hands and everything. And how peaceful their culture is. Like, can you imagine if the United States would get on board to doing something like that?
Uh,
Oh my
I
gosh, it
could
was fascinating. I was
visualize
like,
a
yeah,
planet where everybody actually is present and in the flow, it's paradise.
Yeah.
There's no more wars, there's no more nothing which is non-beneficial. I don't want to say bad because that really depends on my point of view, you know? And like in the Middle Ages, if you didn't burp and had a good fart after food, it means you didn't like the food. If I do that now in Germany, I'm like, ooh. So it
Yeah.
really depends. Yeah, but if we can flow with each other and really understand that we are all here to have an amazing experience and we are all in this together. So
Just
I
breathe.
see the video from China with Kung Fu
Uh-huh.
and I'm on the search and somewhat it tingles in my heart. Okay, then I go and learn Kung Fu. Maybe that is my way to become more present and more, or dynamic meditation, or just a nature walk, or whatever feels right is the way for us to step into our flow. Because I also would like to mention that after 50 years of traveling around, and basically I had a few exceptions which were not nice, I
Oh
followed my
no.
heart. It was always absolutely right and perfect. I had no clue why I was going to Hawaii or to Australia or to there or where, whatever, but it felt right. And I was always in amazing places, had an amazing adventure. The mind is always wrong, period. Because I haven't been to Australia, so how can I know how it is? Oh, because blah, blah, blah. Better not. No, feels right. I'm going there. And so always follow your intuition, your second sight or seventh sight, your visions,
Yep.
your heart, your gut feeling. Always follow that. And not following that, even in the smallest moments. And I have a beautiful example for that. It was like, oh my God, when do you ever learn?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I, I went with my motorbike. I was living in Ecuador to town to do shopping. And I always put my key on my belt, period. For some reason,
Uh-huh.
my hand went to my bag to hook it on my bag. I instantly knew this is not a good idea. But
Uh-huh.
instantly
Okay.
my mind goes, well, what's the problem? You always take care of your bag. Your key is safe. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, okay. After an hour, the bag was full, very heavy. A friend went to our home a few miles away. I said, hey, can you take my bag?
Oh
I
my
was in
gosh.
town with my motorbike and the key was at home. I knew instantly that my mind
Yeah.
had a very good argument, but it's always wrong. The intuition is always right.
Yeah. I've learned that too. You know, when you and you know where I learned it actually was in school because every time I'd go to take an exam or something and I get the results back. And you know, we all do this. We're like, "Oh, I knew it. I should have picked A when I picked C." And yeah. So that's where I
Exactly.
kind of really
Yeah.
learned how to really start tapping into the intuition. Like, I knew I should have picked number C.
Yeah. Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
I mean,
we do. We know. So just follow that. So then over your past like 50 years as a spiritual guide, what's been your most humbling experience?
every time somebody starts crying or comes back the next day to me and goes like, whoa, I tried blah, blah, blah. Wow.
Yeah.
Or people come 2 years later, I just met this guy here back at PSAC and he goes like, oh, Vinaya, wow. Remember you gave me reading 2 years ago. You changed my life. I mean, I didn't change his life. He did, but he got the
Yeah.
idea of what to do. And this is just making me so humble and so, ah, so fulfilled. And the humbleness comes from that I actually don't know nothing. I mean, I hardly know anything about myself, how to talk about other people. But the thing is, I step aside, or Vinaya steps aside, and your higher self as a client talks through me. So, and it's really funny because sometimes my mind, while I give a reading and I say something, my mind goes like, "You can't say that." Oh, but what do we think? You know, it's
Yeah.
like, but it's all right. I see that in the response of the people, and that is humbling. That I don't know anything. And it's actually great because it's relaxing because I don't need to prove anything because what do I know?
Exactly. That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. So then what's
Yeah.
lighting you up the most in your life right now?
Connecting with people heart to heart, which is amazing here in Pisac because the locals are so heart open and this guy comes up to you in the street and just talks to you out of the blue.
Oh,
That would never happen in Europe or in America. It's just like, ah, wow, this is heart opening and really juicy, really amazing.
oh, I love that.
And everybody calls, there's not sir or madam or anything here in Pisac. It's like mummy or puppy. Everybody calls, like, even if you're over 30 or something, you're a puppy or you're a mummy. So it's like
Oh,
really
that's
fun.
interesting.
Yeah, it's like, wow, I love it.
Oh,
And
that's super cute.
yeah, so connecting from heart to heart and also seeing people lighting up when they step into their awareness of like who they really are. Yeah, wow. And the third thing maybe is just sitting out in nature and going like, wow,
Taking
what
it
an
all in.
experience. I'm so grateful.
Beautiful
I'm so
experience.
blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes,
Absolutely. Same. For me, the first thing that I do when I wake up is, and this is every single morning when my eyes open, first thing is name three things that I'm grateful for. And I'm
oh yeah,
not talking very superficial. It's way deeper than that. So, and I think that that's where that's really going to start to switch the mindset around, is practicing gratitude every single day.
absolutely. Absolutely. I start do that first thing. I go out somewhere, usually on the balcony here because it's freezing cold right now. But just observing the nature and then, thank you for this wonderful day. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, because
beautiful day
somebody didn't
away
get
to
to wake up
start the day.
today. So
Yeah. Yeah, and it changes everything. It takes the seriousness out of it takes the worry out of it. It takes anything tense out of it. It's just, thank you. Wow, what a wonderful day.
absolutely. Well, Vanaya, is there anything that you would like to share with our audience one very last time before I let you go?
Well, the one
Anything,
thing,
anything at
and
all.
that's comes to mind is again, everybody. You are absolutely 100% perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. You're created this way and you are blessed to have a life. Enjoy, celebrate.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so very, very much for being a part of the Deep Waves family, Vinaya. It's been a pleasure.
It was a pleasure to see you, Tasha. And
Well, your wisdom reminds us that true freedom begins when we let go of who we think we're supposed to be and reconnect with the truth of who we already are. If you
yeah,
felt inspired by today's episode, be sure to connect with Vinaya through his website at psychiccrystalreadings.com. Follow him on Instagram at psychic.crystal.readings and check out his Facebook group, Your Path to Freedom, to join a community of conscious seekers walking this path together. Thank you, Vinaya, for sharing your light with us today. And thank you to everyone listening. Remember, your healing is your power and your path is yours to reclaim. Until next time, keep riding the deep waves of transformation with us. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Yes, enjoy.
For more information on where to find me, please visit deepwavescoaching.com and on my Facebook and Instagram page at Deep Waves Life Coaching. Thanks so much for watching.